around the rim.
Well, judging by that jam, Greg, I'd say you're absolutely right.
Boy, that's a nice surge for them just when they needed it in a game that was so tight.
Teague for three, and he gets it to go. Teague's got 12. On the topic of Caldwell Pope, he's the kind of guy who needs a year to feel his way around. In college, Greg, you may recall he showed dramatic improvement between years 1 and 2. The same thing has been true in the pros.
Yeah, and he has everything going for him. I mean, excellent outside shot, tremendous defensive tools. He just needs to add some strength and stay in attack mode to reach the next level in his development.
He's been one of their more reliable options today, guys. I mean, his shooting has led them to this lead.
Here's Randall. Here's Ball, and there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
And that's some inspiration. Steals, blocks, and a big dunk. Those are ways that you can really change the momentum in a game.
Well, they got to chip away, Clark, at that deficit, and no doubt that'll help.
And that's what he's out there for, guys. I mean, he is an electrifying player, no doubt.
Defensively, they just look out of sync, not closing out on the threes in time.
Well, I think they're getting caught in that in-between zone, no man's land, giving up 3 straight from beyond the arc right now. Tell you what, Kevin, they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
Clark, that deficit will go away quickly if he does.
And how about how he capped that one out, almost like the 1-2 punch.
Passes to Gibson. Butler up top. Teague's got space. Randall grabs the board. Randall's got 9 rebounds in the game, getting it done. Fader on the way. And it is flushed down with a nice jam.
And I tell you what, nobody willing to put a stop to that slam.
Yeah, Greg, for the defense, that was a case of stand back, watch the show, buckle up.
And I don't blame them. They weren't going to be able to do anything about that one anyway, so discretion, the better part of valor there.
And Minnesota has possession. The biggest lead of the game, 15 points. And stolen by Wiggins. Outside Gibson. And, yep, that's going to be a flagrant foul. Unnecessary contact.
And, Kevin, that's a pretty dangerous play right there. I mean, I don't like to see a player put an opponent in harm's way, as much as you just saw him do there. Glad they pinned a flagrant on him.
Yeah, you're right, Greg. The officials were all over it. They weren't going to let him off the hook that time. So neither attempt will fall that time for him. Mozgov with the steal. And so that brings the first half to a close. Timberwolves ahead. They're up by 6. And don't go away. After the break, we'll see.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Kenny Smith and Shaquille. It was a closely contested first quarter for Minnesota. At the end of the period, they held a 4-point lead. And Kenny, what did you see out there from the Timberwolves?
Well, one place they had the edge was on the offensive board. They converted those extra possessions.
So that does it for us. Hope you enjoyed our halftime show. Now, we take you.
Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far.
A nice quarter for Baller. He has 17 points and 2 steals as well. His success in the assist department is carried over to the free throw line.
Boy, has he been steady at the helm today.
And on the floor for Byron Scott as we get into the second half. Baller is out there with Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Then it's Mozgov. Then it's Dang. And it's Randall in at the 4-man position. Wiggins kicks to Towns. Teague. And there's the foul. It goes on Taj Gibson. That'll be his second foul of the game. Lakers trail by 4.
In last season, the Wolves had the hardest strength of schedule in the entire league. Might have worked out for them in the end, as come lottery time, those extra losses do tend to help.
Butler goes in and count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more.
Offensively, He can be the engine that drives them at any given time.
And guys, the Lakers last season were just a completely different team after Kobe's injury. Not so much in results, but just in how they played on the floor. They actually fared better without Kobe than most thought they would.
Here's Caldwell Pope, covered by Wiggins. It's rebounded by Towns. Minnesota leading by 4. Butler attacking. The rebound by the Lakers. Mozgov's got rebound number 5 here tonight. And for the Lakers, without Kobe last season, it was really a stark. Difference in styles of play and quality. No single person. Clark stepped in to carry their offense. It took a group effort.
Well, you know, it was almost April, Kevin, before somebody surpassed Kobe in field goal attempts on the team. It'll be interesting to see how they build the offense this year.
On up the court, and Randall throws it down.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal, and then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
That indicates the importance of great on-the-ball defense, as was displayed right there.
Ooh, and this is turning into a slow start here in the second half. Seems like they left that offense in the locker room.
Dang with the buckets.
And you talk about fighting your way back into a game. They've shown a lot of grit in this comeback.
They sure did, Greg, and I like the fact they never put their chin in their chest when they were down early. I mean, they were down big early. They were composed, and they never got desperate and stayed within themselves. Very impressive.
Releases from 15, and Caldwell Pope gets the basket. And it's a 5-point Laker lead.
It's pretty simple, guys. It's not complicated. The solution to ending this run will be to get back and actually be serious about playing some defense here.
Yeah, they're getting beat down the floor, and really, unless you're going to the glass, you have got to sprint back defensively.
Guys, we've seen some excellent offensive output.
Yes, sir, fellas. They've had it going on big time.
Yeah, great momentum for them offensively.
Mozgov dishes to Caldwell Pope. It's blocked. And Teague, here we go. And a wide open look here for Wiggins. The Timberwolves again can't hit. Ball defended by Butler. Ball, the pass to Caldwell Pope. He dishes it to Randall from past the arc. Minnesota with the rebound. Karl Anthony Towns didn't come into the previous year.
Whoa! And that's a punch to the jaw. This game as tight as it can be, and he pulls something off that we might not even see in the All-Star game, Kevin.
But Clark, I don't know that he planned it out too far in advance. That was one of those things that just happened.
I think it was premeditated.
I really don't. I think that he's one of those guys that just plays off of instinct, and they don't mind him making those kinds of plays, even in a close game.
And that last replay courtesy of Kia.
You know, when you're bad or struggling in the West, things can go south in a hurry. I mean, the Wolves ended with the worst record in the league last year at 16-66, and a lot of those losses came in their conference.
Here's Caldwell Pope. Got it. Number 7 on the night. 7 for 11 from the floor.
Wow, the floor just really opened up for him on that possession.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for good offense, but that was just a terrible reaction from the defense.
Wiggins kicks to Gibson. The kick outside to Butler. Mozgov with the block.
Their game plan needs to change if they're going to get out of this hole, because he is just not there offensively.
Dishes it to Dang. And the lead now, double digits on that bucket. And it's a 10-point Los Angeles lead. Well, last season the Wolves did struggle in conference, as was expected. 7-45 against the rest of the Western Conference.
Listen, nothing harder in sports than learning how to win. And there's no doubt that Minnesota took a lot of lumps as a young team last season. 3 of those conference wins that you mentioned, though, did come against playoff teams. So there's that little silver lining of hope. He's obviously hit a bit of a dry spell here, only 1 of 5 this quarter.
Here's Ball. Here's Randall. That's all good, and that's his 5th basket of the game. He's shooting 5 for 11 now.
It's a +5 advantage for them in the rebounding category after that board.
Very steady with their work on the interior. Really a well-rounded effort overall. Oh, you've got to be able to deliver when you get a bunny like that. That's just too easy of a shot to miss. And how about a little bit of showmanship there as he increases the lead?
Oh, I like that. That's got to be, though, a tough pill for the defense to swallow.
Well, he's a guy that you know can hurt you with his passing, and right there, he does some damage with his finishing, too.
Last year, a good one for Jeff Teague, Clark. He was a first-time All-Star in this league.
He's a pick-and-roll technician, so good in reading the defense as he operates from that spot on the floor. He was really the catalyst for what was a really efficient offense for the Hawks.
And Jeff Teague, a real speed merchant. I mean, very tough to stay in front of. He can put you on skates, blow by, and get right to the rim.
Here's Ball, and it's thrown down hard with both hands.
Taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the two-handed slam.
Just piling on the lead with a dunk like that.
And Teague, here we go. Here's Wiggins, plenty of space. And there's a whistle. That's going to go on Timothy Mozgov. That will be foul number 5 on him. Mozgov with the steal.
That's a hard pass to make when the defense has that many people in the paint.
Here's Caldwell Pope. He's got 16. Pass to Randall. And count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more.
And guys, Jeff Teague, an attack guard. He's just an average three-point shooter, but he gets to the free throw line in bunches, shoots at a high percentage, and has really revolved, I think, into one of the elite point guards in the league. Oh, that's a tough three-point try when you've got the defense right there.
Well, he'd have to be really good to knock down a shot like that against that kind of defense.
Dang for 3. The shot no good. So Minnesota will take it the other way. And there's a whistle. That's going to go on Timothy Mozgov. That's it for him. He's fouled out of the game. Nancy's checked in for Mozgov. They get it again. And the shot is good. 6 points for Karl Anthony Towns.
And he's been passive today, but maybe that's what he needs to get him going, because for them to be successful, he's got to be a little more selfish. And how about a little bit of showmanship there as he increases the lead?
Oh, I like that. That's got to be, though, a tough pill for the defense to swallow.
Well, he's a guy that you know can hurt you with his passing, and right there, he does some damage with his finishing, too.
And a moment here to take a look at some of the hustle stats for the Lakers.
Their defense has been outstanding, closing out on shots and blocking a few as well.
They haven't wasted time getting the ball up the court tonight either, and it's resulted in a lot of fast break points.
Yeah, really good defensive play to cut him off there and square up.
Excellent example of toughness and physicality on defense. Got his nose right in the middle of things and made a play.
Here's Teague. Rebounded by the Lakers. Baller's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Kicks it to Dang. Pulls up, high post. Misses off the right iron.
And he rushed that one, no doubt about it. The D out of position, you could see the frustration on his face.
Wiggins dishes to Teague. Looking to end his cold spell. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. This is his second trip to the line in this one. And he knocks down the first one.
They're locked in from the charity stripes this half. Not a miss yet.
And trying to cut into this lead, they need every edge they can get.
He's done a much better job of getting to the line here. Aggressively taking it inside and not shying away from contact. I thought he was settling a bit in the first.
Ball for 3. Andrew Wiggins pulls it in. Wiggins has got 5 rebounds tonight. And Towns the bucket on the assist by Butler. Eight points for Karl Anthony Towns.
And he just big boyed it right there. The height advantage he's got down low, really difficult for them to defend.
Okay, fans, put your hands together for your Timberwolves.
And we welcome you back as we get going here in the fourth quarter. The final quarter of play can change everything. Lakers leading by 13. They've got Towns. Taj Gibson is out there with Wiggins. Then there's Teague, and it's Butler in at the 1. So that's the lineup for Minnesota. Feeds it to Nance. And he makes it look easy, dunking it hard with one hand.
I tell you what, he can do a lot more damage to that rim than that when he wants to.
And you know, Clark, with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one.
Me too.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm glad he didn't, because otherwise we'd probably have a 45-minute delay here if he shattered the backboard.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
That's right. 5 of their last 6 makes were on the interior. They've established their inside presence.
Finished off the break. Baller's got 15 points in just the second half.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to pick up that interior defense.
Caldwell Pope, that 3 off the mark. Timberwolves trail by 19. Towns with it. He's picked up by Dang. Wiggins drives in, and it's Dang with the rebound.
Oh, excellent interior D to force the miss.
His defensive ability is a big factor. I mean, there's no denying that.
Here's Butler, and there's the foul. It goes on Jimmy Butler. That'll be his second foul of the game. And we've made our way through just over a minute and a half in this fourth quarter. Ball defended by Butler. And yes, sir, that one drops. 34 points for Baller.
What a... top-notch game he's having. He's gotten them in front, and it sure seemed like he's going to keep them there. All by himself, it looks like.
And the Timberwolves call time.
Well, somehow the Lakers managed to avoid ending up in last place in the West last season. Still, it's a far, far cry from the Lakers teams of the past. Only 21 wins for them on the season.
And it's Butler missing.
He's not exactly striping them from deep. He had 1 3-ball in the first half, still bageled in the second.
Yeah, clearly a foul of frustration right there.
Not his best moment. Obviously, no one on their team's happy right now, but you shouldn't be taking that frustration out on your opponent with a poor foul.
Nato. The shot's good on the assist by Butler. Butler's got 4 assists now tonight.
Whatever their plan was defensively that time, it didn't work. Not if it results in that shot.
Nance passes to Randall. Back to Nance. Here's Caldwell Pope. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
Checking out the game, Kentavious Caldwell Pope has had 18 points, and he's hit the mark twice from 3-point range as well.
And Clark, it's no stretch to say the more points he gives them from beyond the arc, the better off they'll be.
They got to keep fighting their way to the line, guys. This half, it's been nothing but success for them there.
Yeah, taking full advantage from the charity stripe. They've yet to miss here in the second.
And that'll increase their rebound advantage. They've definitely been winning that battle on the boards.
You know what? No rebounds, no rings, and they've controlled the boards, and that's what's given them control of this game.
Ball defended by Butler. Randall passes the ball. And again, the Lakers no good.
And, you know, he's a threat from deep, no doubt about it, but it just has not been there for him tonight. You might want to change your game plan a little bit offensively.
They're simply living and dying from behind the arc in this second half. And I don't think that's the way to go here. They're trailing. The three-point shot can be used, but they've got to balance it out.
The steal. Fast break, Minnesota. Here's Butler. Marvelous lead pass, and he throws it down.
And a nice 1-2 punch there, guys. Great defensive play and great basket in transition.
Aggressive play, attacking basketball, on the attack, full throttle. I love it.
And they're going to have a hard time climbing back into this game if they continue to defend like that.
And the shot is good. Los Angeles leading by 18. Here's Ball. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up. First one falls for him. Minnesota making a switch here. Teague's checked in.
2 shots.
He's perfect from the line this time. Minnesota's gotten off. Four three-pointers in the final quarter, and 2 of them have fallen. The tray. Dang grabs the miss. Dang's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. It's a nice passing here by Los Angeles. Here's Ball. Gets the jumper from the corner to fall. Baller's got 43 points.
It's just hard to believe that someone can perform at such a high level. They've got to thank him for this lead.
Guys, you keep trying to force the issue. Take the D head on. Sometimes it backfires, and that's been the case for him. He's trying to do too much.
From the arc. And again, it's the Lakers from deep.
It just seems like the more he touches it, the more the lead grows.
For Minnesota, they've gone 4 of 10 here in the final period. Not the time to go cold. To the middle. Towns kicks to Butler. Nato. Offensive struggles continue, missing again. Launches a 3. A rebound by the Timberwolves. Wiggins has got his 6th rebound on the night. Out of bounds, the Lakers will take possession. The Lakers have gone 8 of 14 from the floor here in the 4th quarter. Pass the ball. This one for 3, and he gets it to go. Baller's got 49 points in the game.
I don't think they can ask much more of him than what he's done this quarter.
Nato. And right away, they match it with a 3-pointer of their own.
And really, the scoring this quarter has been just off the charts, doing all he can to bring them back.
The 3 ball. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. And they go to the intentional foul.
You know, give him credit for still battling here down the stretch, but I think it's too little too late.
Simply delaying the inevitable here, Greg. I mean, at this point, even if they miss the free throws, there's not enough time left.
Here's Butler. Nato. From outside, off the mark. And here's the Lakers. They're on a 15-6 run. Andrew Wiggins pulls it in.
And listen, sometimes even the best of us are going to miss the easiest of opportunities.
Nato. Randall grabs the board. Randall's got 15 rebounds here tonight. Here's Ball. Drains the 3, and yes, he'll go to the line for one more. It's on Jimmy Butler.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. 4 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
And, Greg, it's hard for me to watch this. I mean, the defense practically giving them the those shots.
Minnesota really had a rough year last season. A lot of people know that, obviously. A lot to do with their defense. They just, Greg, struggled in almost every defensive metric.
Yeah, and, you know, they struggled at times guarding the basketball, but ultimately I think the biggest issue for them was their inability to protect the rim. That's an area and a point of emphasis that has to improve for this young team. And he has slipped into a funk, Clark. You can see the confidence is shaken.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, he's very much deflated. The basket looks a lot smaller to him at this point, and the only way you can get out of it is to work yourself out of it.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Lakers.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, Stephen Clark. An all-around dominant performance, Clark, and you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
I certainly did, and they just cracked it open and made it an NC. No contest.
Yeah, I like that.
I mean, when you look at the stats, you'll see just how dominant a game this was for Baller. There wasn't much they could do to slow him down as he was converting every good chance he got.
Minnesota making a switch here. Teague's checked in.
You know, with the Timberwolves and their defense, it was the league's worst in opponent field goal percentage. Also dead last in field goal percentage, which takes threes into account for the value they add. So near the bottom of the league in block shots as well. Hard to win when you're struggling in those areas.
And the officials call a traveling violation.
Just a boneheaded play there, guys, plain and simple.
Well, tell me how you really feel about that, Greg. But you're right. I mean, mistakes like that will keep you from cutting deficits, no doubt.
At the line for two.
That's also good. So he hits both free throws. And so it's Minnesota with it. To stop the drought, offline. And so it's the Lakers take
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Kevin, much appreciated, and now let's move on to our Jordan Player of the Game. It was nothing short of a professional offensive clinic he put on today. He hit shots from every place he took them, and he took a lot of them to score more than 50 points.
I don't know what got into him tonight. Whew. He caught the scoring bug and was just pouring it in the paint. That's the kind of offense he's capable of delivering when he sets his mind to it.
He was the star of the show for them on the offensive end. Over half of their points came through him. I think he was the number one option, the number two option, number three option, and then when the coach called timeout, he was still the option.
And that'll do it for tonight. For Kenny Smith, Shaquille